It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders. Today we're going to be covering a very interesting team I got set up after having some discussions with people on just potential niche teams that might make an impact. And this is only going to improve as the updates come, because this team specifically, I want to only replace Pumpkin Pie with Wildberry. And the reason is that I think Wildberry is going to have some interesting skills and abilities that might play very well alongside Hollyberry. And I think will be a great addition with the stuns that may work well with this specific team setup. So just kind of keep an eye on this team and what they can do, and we'll see if Wildberry makes an impact as a switch out here. So here's what I'm running. I'm going with almonds on Hollyberry, on Pumpkin Pie, and then chocolates on Cotton and Parfait, and then apple jellies on Blossom. So let's go ahead and run this into the PvP meta and see what we can fight. So as we can see here, we've got probably your traditional team that is currently littered all over the arena. And that's Caro, probably Cacao, Eclair, Pomegranate, and Herb. So it would not surprise me. They have the attack speed, they have the Scythe for critical, so they should deal quite a lot of damage. But let's see if Hollyberry can be enough to defend us while we heal from the back end. So here we go. So we're going to run in, we're going to have the Horn for extra defenses. It's not Cacao this time, it's Madeline, but that's probably in our actual favor, so I'm not necessarily sad about that. As you can see, our healing's going pretty intense, and as Blossom hits, we are getting that attack buff, which is also getting us a healing buff, since we are attacking for a higher damage in the coordinates. It's definitely going to be a close fight, but it looks like we're going to just barely take it. So Hollyberry and Blossom did perish, but our mid-team, they survived. And they had full-level treasures, so there was nothing necessarily spooky that they had that shouldn't have lined up. And they also had the skill freezes from Frost Queen, so that was also unexpected. I thought it was going to be Eclair, but, you know, we took the win. So I'm loving it. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so this is a Feather Scroll Clock. We have Cotton, Herb, Frost Queen. That's most likely Sea Fairy and Cacao. Let's give it a shot and see how we do. We might not be geared for this team. I was right on the hidden guesses, so that's okay. But it'll still be an interesting test out because they have burst damage. So hopefully Hollyberry will do the bulk of the damage resistance here. But let's give it our best shot and see what we can push through. So yeah, we're getting hit hard, but we are healing back just as heavy. And so we're keeping it pretty tight between everybody. But yeah, the hits are coming. We've definitely knocked down that health bar, but it is a tight match here. Here we go. And we take it again. Climbing that ladder. I love to see it. I kind of wanted to take this video to just kind of run through PvP and see what we run into. So that way you kind of get a raw experience rather than very calculated data. As much as I love running calculated data teams, I wanted to see how this one performed. And it ran pretty good for the few teams that I did test it. But I wanted to show you that I'm not afraid to take it into the PvP arena and just fight random opponents, because it really has a lot of raw potential. Now, it does take quite a bit of setup. I could still have better toppings to make it even more powerful. And of course, even more lab upgrades. This right here looks like one match that we're not going to win. So it looks like Eclair is going to be the biggest reason here because of that debuff that we get. And Herb may have been a better replacement instead of Parfait for us to have a chance here. So let's check the results on that. So yeah, we did amazing damage between everybody. I mean, 2 million almost across the board. Cacao did almost 4 million damage. And 3 million from both Cotton and Eclair. So clearly there was plenty of damage going on there. Plus they had technically one more healer, so they were able to out heal even our out healing, and they definitely took the win there. But that's yeah, so Eclair could be a potential problem on this team. Does kind of depend on the setup. I don't see any reason why we would lose to this team, seeing as they have a level 5 scroll, and I don't mean that in an insulting way. I just mean that I'd be very surprised if this team synergy can outweigh what we've got going here. Yes, we're able to basically out-heal their entire subset of damage. So as you can see, it's a healing team mostly, but it does have a very heavy focus on the damage resistance that Hollyberry can do, or at least how you can see most of the damage goes to Hollyberries or some of the healers, but they can usually out heal it. And Cherry Blossom's doing a wonderful job, doing a very good job, hitting hard, hitting a lot of targets, getting those attack buffs, getting the healing buffs. I really loving to see it. I will take it against a TK team and see how we can handle against a frontline battle, as this will be a little bit different than your traditional setups. So we got a lot of burst damage from their Caro and their Eclair and their Sea Fairy. So technically they should have a good setup. But we are lowering their team pretty quickly. And I cannot see if their T-Knight's still alive or not. It looks like it is. But if we take out that T-Knight, we should have a pretty good chance on this. So Hollyberry's still staying alive. Pumpkin Pie's still going. Yeah, they still took it anyway. And so let's look at the results on that. So Sea Fairy combined with Eclair and T-Knight just providing a constant beat. And I bet, yeah, Caro and T-Knight took the majority of the damage down their side, so that's why they got the better lead there. Because there wasn't really a lot of healing done on their end. It was only 1.3 million from Cotton, and we had over almost 5 million from our side. But what happened was T-Knight and Caramel Arrow have quite a lot of HP, and so they were pretty much able to just delay us from taking over the game. Even though we had great healing, we didn't have a huge output of damage. And so for that reason, that's why we couldn't dominate over the field on that one. Now, if Cherry Blossom had better stats, maybe we'd be able to take it. And as you can see, when I go to the toppings here, we could nearly double Hollyberry's damage resistance, so that would be one thing that would really help. Same thing goes for Pumpkin Pie. As far as Cotton, we almost don't have any damage resistance, but it's a little bit difficult to find really great cooldown and damage resistance stopping, so we're getting there. We're getting to that point. We have no damage resistance on Parfait cookies, so that would be one thing that would definitely upgrade the team to a good point. And we have a low damage resistance on Cherry Blossom, and not even optimal critical and cooldown that I would have on her too. So definitely a lot of room for improvement, but this is just kind of like, I want to show you Pumpkin Pie is the only one I'm thinking of switching with Wildberry, and I still think this team's going to be awesome. I just really want to get these toppings upgraded a little bit more to really pull the power and the punches. But let me know in the comments what you think. Is this a team that you'd be willing to run? Do you like any of these cookies? Are any of them your favorite? Why? I'd love to know. Are you surprised that Cherry Blossom's in this team? More things are coming out about her all the time that people initially thought, she's not going to be that great. But I think she has a lot of potential. So let me know what you think, and I'd love to hear it. And thanks so much for stopping by.